Manava ITOC, bitch. That's Tahitian. There's no translation for that to Tahitian. Bitch.
What you say?
I told you that it's time to start the show.
That you only meant well.
Yeah, the show's gonna do
Of
well.
course you did. What you say?
I said let's go.
That it's all for the best.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be like the best podcast.
What you say?
God, do I have to keep repeating myself?
Just what we need. Be you decided this.
Hold up, I
What
thought we
you
both
say?
decided to do this.
What did she say?
I said let's start the show.
Hey everyone, welcome to What You Say, an OC podcast. My name is Lise Daly.
And I'm Scott Daly.
And together,
We're the Dailies.
It's because we'd been gone away from each other for so long that we just were
One day
totally
at least. One day.
Unseen.
You know what the trick is? I wasn't looking you in the eyes when we did it the first time. I need to connect eye contact, and so I know when you're gonna speak and when you're not.
Don't blink.
Don't. The first one to blink loses. Great audio. Go.
I
just
blink because my
You just
contact's
blinked.
been bothering me today.
Just blink. That was the shortest staring contest
My
I've ever seen.
contact's bothering
This
me.
is the podcast where we each and every week we select. No, God, this is a shit show. This is the podcast where
No,
each and
this
every
is
week we
What
show
You
up.
Say, Scott.
We show up with our 24-year-old girlfriends to discuss the hit 2000s teen drama.
You didn't
The
meet me when I was
OC.
24.
This week
you?
on the show,
No.
we are covering season 1, episode 5.
I was 25.
6, episode 6. The Girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Scott,
At least you're on the ball today.
but before we talk about the OC, before we talk about
Before
The
we talk about
Girlfriend.
the OC, we got to talk about the Rosie.
I like that.
Oh, look at me go.
Someone's got some rhythm.
I
Who knew?
know. Every rose has its thorn,
Has its thorn.
just like every night has its dawn.
Dawn, dawn, dawn.
Every cowboy sings a sad song. Every rose has its thorn. Yeah. Jesus.
So this is the part where Scott and we look back on our last week and we talk about all the good things, the bad things, the Rosies and the Thornies. And we always start with the bad. I'm going to go first this week again
Do it.
because you were going first
do
a
it.
long time.
Let's do it.
So then, yeah, I'm just going to back to back.
Okay.
2 weeks in a row.
Okay,
Me
You don't need
out in front of everybody.
Just
starting
say-
the race early. Head start.
At least what's
I'm
your
the
thorn?
turtle, not the rabbit. I'm slow and steady wins the race.
It's a hare. It's not a rabbit.
Whatever. Anyways, so I have many parts of my job, many facets. And this week on Monday, it was clean up in aisle 4, throw up. There's a kid that was throwing up.
That didn't work. That bit didn't
Yeah,
work.
it didn't work. Anyways, so kid vomits a lot in the middle of the hallway.
Would you say it projectiled?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say.
Okay.
And I mean, it was a solid amount. Anyway, so I'm running up with this huge recycling bin because that's the nearest receptacle that I can get so that he can walk to the nurse with me.
Mm-hmm.
As I get to him, he loses it one more time, but doesn't put it in the receptacle that I just,
Of course not.
put in front of his
Why would he
face
do that?
because,
Why would he do that?
why-
That would
why?
make sense.
But I think because of that receptacle, it was all over the place, So finally, yay, got him to start walking, got him to the nurse, and then going about my day, going about my business. And all of a sudden, Scott, I look down on my shirt and I'm like, this looks strange.
You didn't tell me this part of the story.
Oh, I didn't?
No, you just said a guy threw up on you. You didn't say that you were walking around with throw up shirt for a couple hours.
Well, now you just spoiled it for everyone because I'm looking down at my shirt and I'm like,
Everyone knew where you were going, Elise. I spoiled it.
I don't know what this is. Maybe this is lunch. I can't remember. So I walked into...
So you ate it?
No, I walked into the office manager and I just asked her, I was like, do you remember if at lunch I was messy and accidentally got something on my shirt? To which she looked at my shirt and said, I don't know, but you should go change just to be on the safe side. So I did. I went and I changed, and it was just disgusting.
I can't believe
it made me
you had to
feel sick
open
the whole
a
rest of the
fucking
time.
investigation to figure out whether you had throw up on your shirt.
I didn't know. And then I was like, I don't know what to do. I tried to get the water off of it. Like, I tried to go.
Did you have a change of clothes?
No, we have a cupboard full of like spirit wear shirts that old teachers
spirit
had.
wear.
So I just used one of those.
So you just really loved your school after it literally threw up on you. Well, I mean, that's why.
Anyways.
That's why our education system is broken right there. That's why right there. Kids throwing up on teachers and principals. That's it. Solve that. You solve the problem.
World peace. Right there. Yeah. What was bad for you, Scott?
It's just been a very busy week for me. I am going on vacation starting tomorrow. We're actually recording this episode very, very early for us because I will be out all next week and the back half of this week at my film festival, which that's my rose. Sometimes doing this Thorn Before Rose stuff messes everything up. My rose is while everyone is listening to this episode, I will be at Fantastic Fest watching a bunch of great movies. I'm very excited about it, but taking off a long time for work means a lot of work up until that time. And at both my day job and at this job, I've been spending every day this week doing something with work. I've recorded 5 podcasts. I've had to edit them all in advance. And I've just been really, really busy at work as well.
Scott, you should stop complaining. Just kidding.
Wow. This is, guys, what Elise is doing. She's not actually like being a jerk here. What it is she's upset with me because I'm leaving for 7 days.
And instead of being the dog that goes and pees on your suitcase, I'm just mean.
She's just lashing out at me because she's upset that I'm doing this, even though I've been doing this every year since we've known each other. Never been a year where I didn't do this. And yet she's still lashing out at me. So that's okay, Elise. I love you. That's my other thorn, is that I'm going to miss my wife. While you're listening to this, it's probably Tuesday morning, and I'm probably missing my wife real good right now. So I miss you.
It's your own fault.
Elise, you're probably going to be listening to this as you drive into work Tuesday morning. I just want you to know I love you, and I miss you so much, and I'll see you on Friday.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Why are you being like this? I was really sweet.
I know,
that was
you were
really sweet.
That was very nice.
You're going to listen to that on Tuesday, and you're probably going to start crying because you miss me so much.
I would never do such a thing.
Elise, what's your rose?
I love you. Thank you for saying those sweet things, and that'll be nice to listen to.
What's your rose, Elise?
I got to go to camp again, even though I'm not in the teacher capacity anymore.
Yeah, so
that was really fun.
So people who don't know, explain what camp is. I think we maybe have talked about this on the show before, but
every year when kids are in 5th grade, it's part of the curriculum to have a extended nature study.
Right.
And so as far as like Texas schools are concerned, they have started to do 5th grade camp. So they leave the school and it's an overnight camp it used to be a full week, 5 days, Monday through Friday, but it has now, scaled back to 3 days. So it's either Monday through Wednesday or Wednesday through Friday. Anyways, it's like going to somewhere where there's a lake. We do canoeing, we do fishing, there's archery, there's like team building, there's a forest adventure trail. It's just a bunch of like science lessons, but actually out in nature.
And as a 5th grade teacher, you always would get to go on this because all
so
the teachers
fun.
go.
It's so fun.
But then you got a promotion. You were the principal, the assistant principal.
Yeah.
But you still get to go.
I still get to go.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. And not only did I get to go, I got to drive myself. I didn't have to ride in the bus.
Oh my God, that's so nice. Because apparently the bus was super crowded and you probably would have gotten thrown up on again.
Someone did throw up on the bus.
Of course they did. They're children. They're disgusting.
Anyways. So
that's our Roses and Thornies this week. Hope everyone else is having a good week out there.
I hope so too.
Follow me on Twitter to see what I think of movies.
Or me.
No.
All
right.
So anyways, Scott, this week we are doing episode 6 called The Girlfriend. The Girlfriend is the 6th episode of this season.
So when I put my name next to the section in parentheses, you just
But
decided.
I thought I read this. I thought I did the summary last time. I thought we should have switched.
Fine, just read it.
No,
Read it.
no, I'm not going to do it. No, I'm going to follow your lead. I'm going
Okay.
to follow your directions like a good submissive wife.
Wow, that's going to be a longer conversation we're going to need to have. The Girlfriend is the 6th episode of season 1. It was written by Deborah J. Fisher and our show creator and showrunner Josh Schwartz, and directed by Stephen Rob Mann. This is the first and only time Stephen Rob Mann will be in that director's chair. It aired
Good.
September 9th, 2003. Elise, hit me up with that summary.
Kirsten's uptight father, Caleb Nickel, comes for a visit along with his new girlfriend, Gabrielle, a 24-year-old model. Caleb does not hesitate to speak his mind and immediately angers both Sandy and Ryan and browbeats Seth with constant criticism with their backgrounds, while Gabrielle makes a move on Ryan. Kirsten finds her job at Caleb's company, Newport Group, in jeopardy, while Sandy considers making a change. My contacts are really bothering me. Meanwhile, Luke approaches Marissa and tells her that he wants a second chance with her, much to Ryan's disappointment. Also, Summer makes the moves on Seth, who wonders if her feelings are real or if she's just using him. If she just using him. Sorry.
Now, once again, no factual errors in that summary,
No,
but also not quite right. Seth doesn't wonder if her feelings are real. She just kind of tells him.
He knew.
Yeah.
I mean, he downright knew.
All right, you ready for my attempt?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a
I don't have my
timer?
phone.
Ugh, you're so ill-prepared, and you're eating food during the podcast again, which we've talked about so many times.
I mean, we talked about it.
Guess what people love to hear while they're listening to audio? People chewing into a microphone.
You know,
they love it.
That's why they're never
absolutely
allowed to
love
eat
it.
on reality dates.
Yeah, I know. So why do you do it?
This isn't a reality show, Scott. You won't let me be on one of those. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
3. Do you want me to show you the time? Are you one of those that likes that?
Yeah,
See, I like the
show,
time.
Just show it to me.
Are you sure?
Yeah, just do it. Just
Okay.
do it.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
This week on the OC, Kirsten's father, Caleb, comes into town, and it's all nerve-wracking because Caleb's kind of a dick, and Sandy really, really hates him, and they argue a whole lot. Ryan tries to ask out Marissa, but gets rejected, but then Gabrielle, Caleb's girlfriend, starts hitting on him, and it's really weird and awkward. Summer asks Seth to take her to Caleb's birthday party because she wants to hook up with a bunch of rich financial people, and he says yes because he's Seth and he likes her a whole bunch. Ryan is going back and forth between Marissa and Gabrielle, and then while he and Gabrielle are making out, Marissa catches them. 30 seconds is not enough.
Did you try
time.
and practice that?
I didn't. Was it good?
Pretty good.
Thank you.
At the beginning, yeah.
At the beginning.
And then, time gets away from you.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
What's a guy to do?
Nothing. All right, Elise.
Yeah.
What did you think of The Girlfriend?
Of the episode, The Girlfriend,
Yes.
or of Gabrielle?
The episode.
It's frustrating, Scott. It's frustrating because the people that you thought were going to get together, they had a good, time last week. Now it's just toy and mouse. Wait, cat and mouse. That's what it is.
Toy and mouse.
Scott, I'm
Elise
really
is very
tired.
tonight.
It's been a
Good
long
old
week
toy
already.
and mouse.
It's that good old toy and mouse game. That cat and mouse game.
I have a
That's
question
what
for
I
you.
meant.
I have a question for you. Caleb Nickel. Was
Yeah.
he the character that you hinted at earlier a couple episodes ago that whenever he's on screen you get stressed or anxious?
No.
Okay.
No. I actually quite enjoy Caleb.
I like Caleb a lot too.
Yeah.
He's fun.
No.
I liked this episode. Everything.
Should I look up and see when that character comes in?
No.
I really want to now.
Every one of our plot lines moves forward in this episode. There's movement on both all of our love triangles. Everything's moving forward in interesting, cool ways. You kind of see where the plot of the show is going, and how Caleb being in this brings a little wrinkle to it. It was a good episode.
I think it's good in the sense, too, that with the introduction of Caleb, you really understand Sandy and Kirsten a lot more.
Oh, yeah. And I got to say, we're going to get into this. I did not like Sandy in this episode. I thought Sandy was kind
Your
of
man, Sandy?
Yeah, I thought he was kind of a jerk. Everything he did, I understand Caleb doesn't like him, and so he's got a chip on his shoulder about his father-in-law not liking him. But he initiated just about every shitty thing.
Okay, that's true.
We'll get into it, but Sandy, not a good look, buddy. Not a good look. Anyway, let's jump right into the episode. Let's talk about The Girlfriend.
Okay, so we start the show, Scott, and the trunk opens and we see all of the food that is in the back of this
much
car.
Food.
They went to the grocery store, and I mean,
They bought
it
it
was
out.
like Y2K. They were just preparing for the worst.
No, it's at 2003.
I know, but it would have been like when that happened.
But it's 2003.
Scott, I get it. Okay, just stop.
Please continue.
I'm playing around. They can't see my face,
Yeah, so
and so
guys-
they think that I'm being okay. I was just kidding. Anyways, so they're just having this whole back and forth about, oh, you know, granddad's coming. We have to buy all this food so that we can, you know, like make a good party and a good show and impress him, because all that Kirsten wants is her dad's approval and for him to be proud of her. So she's trying really, really hard. Sandy doesn't really care at all. Seth is like, oh, well, I guess granddad's got this new girlfriend sort of thing. And then Ryan is kind of on the same side as Kirsten, because Ryan
burned down his house.
Yeah, burning down the house. Anyways, so, you know, Ryan and Kirsten, they're already similar in the sense that architecture, they had them bond over that.
Yeah.
But they're both also hoping for the seal of approval of Caleb. And I think Kirsten is, without saying it, also nervous about the fact that there is someone new that's in the house, and she knows how much her dad is controlling her life.
Well,
anyway,
one of the points of contention between them ends up being that you didn't ask me my opinion about adopting this child.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they're talking about him in the kitchen, Kirsten and Sandy, and then all of a sudden, this is like the best entrance, I feel like, of a character, because it's spot on for how we're supposed to feel about him. He just comes in and he's, speak of the devil, and the devil doth appear.
Yeah, they're just talking about him, and she's got the fridge door open, and then like we hear his voice, and she closes the fridge door, and he's just there, calling himself the devil. And it's this weird. I like it because it's this moment where he says, "I used my key to let myself in." And that's like a really good way where the show establishes like how much he feels like
this is his.
This is not Sandy and Kirsten's house. This is his house. And if he shows up early, he will let himself in. Like, I would not be comfortable. I love my parents. If my parents show up to my house early and they have like a key for emergencies and they just let themselves into my house, I'm not going to be happy about that.
Yeah.
That's my house. No, you can't come. You can't just come in whenever you want. So it does really establish like his ownership. And the thing is, no one calls him on that. Like, Kirsten doesn't say anything about that, and she won't. She never will. I thought this is a great way of, you're absolutely right. This is a perfect way of introducing this character. I love it so much.
Anyway, so then it cuts to Seth and Ryan, who are getting all this stuff out of the car, and then Caleb comes out, and Ryan's so worried about, I hope he's okay, because I burned down his house.
There's no way he's going to remember that. He's got a lot of stuff going on.
And then Caleb walks out, shakes his hand. Aren't you the kid that burned down my house? I mean, it's just like every single thing for the introduction of this granddad is perfect. And then he tells Seth and Ryan to go bring some stuff out to the back where the grill is. And that's where the girlfriend, who is let in with Caleb's key, has just made herself quite comfortable swimming in their pool.
Extremely comfortable swimming in their pool.
So then,
have you seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High? Have you seen that movie?
No.
So in that movie, Phoebe Cates is in someone's dream, is swimming in the back of the pool, and she comes out like slow motion and like tosses her hair back, and they're basically recreating it here. I don't know if you remember that Stacy's Mom music video.
Stacy's mom has got it going on.
Do you remember that music video?
Yeah.
It was stealing that from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. So that's the scene that they're doing here, and it's icky. Like we're gonna have to deal with some icky stuff in this episode between this woman and Ryan.
We're gonna have to ask ourselves a lot. Is this creepy?
And the answer is yes.
Every time we have to ask ourselves that question, it is yes. And the first time we have to ask ourselves this question is when Seth says, "Oh my God, that could be my new grandma."
Which is just a weird thing to say. I mean, like if he had said, "Wow, she's hot," I would still think that'd be creepy because that's your grandfather's girlfriend, but less, I don't just like immediately like being obsessed with the relation aspect of it. It's like
it's weird.
Yeah, Seth, you're creepy. But to be fair to our two characters, this entire show is being creepy right now because this is supposed to be a moment, like a dog drooling moment as this woman steps out of a pool. Like that's the whole first 5 minutes of the show is basically just ogling this woman who, can we just say right here at the top, not a very good actress.
And I don't even think she's really pretty.
She's got a good body, but she's not like beautiful. No,
Is she a butterface?
no, she's not. She's not ugly. I would never go so far as she's a attractive woman, but she is not like
Not like me.
exactly.
Aw.
I just couldn't think of the words, and the words were not like you.
Oh. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
is.
Okay.
So then we cut
Anyways.
to opening credits.
Na 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 California, here we come, right back where we started from.
She burped. She burped in the middle.
I couldn't stop it. I felt it happening and it wouldn't go away.
It was amazing.
At least it wasn't super loud. So we go back to the pool where we left off, and Seth and Ryan are in the hot tub
In that
now,
hot
just
tub.
watching
Just creepily watching
Gabriella
her swim.
Yeah.
Which
and
is
she just what?
so-
Go ahead. Go ahead, Scott. Are Seth and Ryan creepy?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
But so in the show, okay, she gets out of the pool and does the slow-mo fast times thing.
Yeah.
Wraps herself in a towel, and then we go to the opening credits. And then we come back from commercial, and she's back in the pool.
Yeah.
Is this supposed to be a different day? A different time?
Same day.
So she just got
After
out of the
she goes
pool,
to
toweled
pee,
off,
Scott.
and then just went right back in.
Sometimes a lady has to pee, and we don't like to pee in the pool.
You want to know what's the funniest thing about this
What?
character? She is not with Caleb, her boyfriend, like at all in this episode.
No,
Like,
I mean-
they come together and they leave together,
Scott,
and that
let's
is
be real.
it. It's the
The
definition
only
of arm
reason
candy.
that, exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, continue.
So anyway, she's swimming around. They're in the pool. They're talking about her, right in earshot of her. And she decides to get out and decides, you know what? I'm not going to swim in this pool anymore. I'm going to go sit in the hot tub with these two high school boys.
Yeah, these two 16-year-old
in the middle
boys.
of them.
Yeah,
both.
instead of sitting on the
Yeah.
opposite side of the hot tub, I'm going to get in between them.
Yeah.
Hey,
And-
Elise,
Yeah.
is Gabriella creepy?
Yeah.
Yeah, super
Yeah.
creepy.
Anyways, so then they're talking about the birthday party, and then she starts asking if these, boys want to bring any girls to the party. And they're like, oh, well, maybe there's someone who's like, no girls you want to bring? Two hot guys like yourselves?
Ugh.
Like, what 24-year-old is talking to a 16-year-old and saying hot guys? That's just wrong.
And
Not just creepy, just wrong.
And we need to spend time on this because this is gross. But I think one of the things is that because this is an older woman with teenage age kids, it is a lot more socially acceptable than if
not.
the roles were reversed. No, I agree. It shouldn't be. But that's the double standard, right? If this was a 24-year-old man hitting on two 16-year-old girls, like the TV station would have gotten angry phone calls and letters. Whereas this, which could be considered equally creepy, and let's be fair, is more seen as like, oh yeah, look at the teenage dudes going after the hot older woman. Yeah. It's just like how like if there's like inappropriate things between teachers and students, if it's a male teacher with a female student, it's like it's definitely seen as more disgusting when with a female teacher with a male student, there's that whole South Park joke where it's like, nice. It's just this weird double standard in our society, and the OC has perpetuated it. So good job, OC.
Yeah. But you
And
know
it's
what?
gonna get worse.
You know what? There are a lot of surprises, Scott, in this episode. And
What's
one
that?
of the surprises, Marissa folds laundry.
Well,
Did you know that the OC people, they fold laundry?
Marissa's a poor now.
Oh, so poor people fold laundry.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying in the show.
Yep. We've
I got it
6
now.
episodes in. Did we see her fold laundry in the previous 5?
We didn't. We didn't see her fold any laundry.
Now she's folding
Now
laundry.
she's
That's how we
folding
know.
laundry.
She's working class now.
Okay. Well, that's been established.
There we go.
So Luke comes over because he got the stitches out of his arm.
Yeah.
And he's just decided he's going to turn a new leaf, Scott.
Yeah.
He's a new man.
He's not though.
He's not?
No.
Well, he apologizes and he wants to say he wants to be there for her now. But she's
Yeah.
not sure? Why do you think she's not sure?
Because she wants to bang Chino, man.
Ah, so she's undecided. Her heart is torn.
Yeah. I like Luke in the scene, like does this thing where he's trying really hard to be like compassionate and kind to her and stuff. But then the end of the scene is him like laying down on her bed and being like arms over behind the head and be like, yeah, let's just like stay in and watch a movie or something, whatever you want to do. And it's just like he's so like relaxed and in her space, kind of like Caleb. It's just like you shouldn't be that. You just came over like begging for forgiveness. You shouldn't be like chill. Maybe I just hate him. Maybe this is just me hating him, and I'm reading shittiness into every single one of his things.
And if he puts his arm up to where she sees it, then she's always got
that's what he was doing.
remember the time I got shot in the arm?
I took a bullet for you, Marissa.
Except she wasn't even there.
It still counts. I took a bullet
for Holly
in the same town as you, Marissa.
Oh man, what a stud. Well, speaking of studs, we got your boy Sandy, Scott.
Yeah.
And so
my eyebrow stud. We haven't had an eyebrow update on Sandy. Let me just say generally.
Tell me how those are doing.
Nice.
They're nice.
Nice.
Still well combed.
Yeah.
Well groomed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They're great.
Not needing any sort of dye yet.
No.
Still holding their color as well as their shape.
Holding their own.
Okay, that's good.
He dyes his hair, right? Tell me he dyes his hair. As a person
he dyes his hair.
As a person who's seeing more and more white hairs in my beard, tell me the man dyes his hair. Should I dye my beard? Should I dye it red? Bright red?
No, I really like your color in your beard right now.
But look at all the whites.
You know what, Scott? It just shows
the white
wisdom.
hair.
It doesn't mean anything.
It means I'm old.
Scott, we're both old.
Maybe I'm too old to be talking about teen shows. Never.
No.
Okay, continue.
Okay, so Sandy, Kirsten, and Caleb, they're talking about Gabriella. So see, that shows us, Scott, we're never too old to be talking about teenagers. We've got Gabriella here and the birthday celebration. So Caleb's upset in this conversation as well that Ryan's adopted. And the fact that...
Which, first of all, he's not adopted, right? They're his legal guardian.
Legal guardians, but he's saying adopted. Yeah. So he is really upset and doesn't understand why he didn't ask or she didn't ask for his permission.
Yeah.
So he just decides he's going to demote her.
Yeah.
Because, Scott, when you have a new person in the family and you're female... You need to be demoted so that you can go spend more time with her new family.
Fuck you, Caleb.
Yeah, he is just trying to be like asserting his power over her right there, which is really awful.
But first of all, the first thing that jumped into my mind when he said, you didn't even consult me before you made this decision was, what the fuck does it matter what you think about this? If me and my husband want to bring a kid into our home that needs a home, I don't have to ask
Scott,
my parents.
It's not their home. It's Caleb's home.
Fuck that. Fuck Caleb. Fuck you.
He has his own key.
I'm so glad Caleb and Julie are clearly going to get together because they fucking deserve each other.
What do you mean?
Let's move on.
Okay. So, cut to Julie and Jimmy, who, are going through some marital troubles because of Jimmy's theft.
Marital troubles.
Marital troubles. Sorry. Anyways, so she's complaining about all of the things that they're not able to do, not with the money, and...
They had to give up the horse, and the horse was her best friend.
Oh my gosh. That's really sad.
It's really sad.
If the horse is the best friend.
And Jimmy's like, it's just a horse.
Yeah.
For once, I'm on Team Jimmy.
Julie has decided she wants a divorce.
She did a D word.
Yeah. And she told Jimmy, she said she wants a divorce. So forget the two plans that Jimmy proposed.
Fuck your plans.
She's decided she wants
We don't
her
ever
own.
get to see what she chooses. She just is going off on her own and choosing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, here's the thing. I get it. I think you should stay. I think you should stay and honor the vows you made. Mm-hmm. But I get why she lied to her and he stole and he ruined their lives. It's not a cool thing to do, Jimmy.
It's not. So, Scott, then we have Ryan, who, because he still needs to earn money, because he's not taking anyone out on dates right now, but he wanted to take Marissa out on a date, and Caleb's given him some grief for living in this house, so maybe he thinks he needs to earn his way to, acceptance with Caleb. So he's got to get some money so that Caleb understands he's not just trying to mooch off of these people. That's not really the reason, but he's going to work. Ryan's going to work. He just
still has the job that he got last week.
But he's got more motivation and more drive.
Sure.
Anyways, he's riding his bike to work, and on his way, he stops by Marissa, and he tries to ask her out to the party, Scott. Tries to ask her out to the birthday party, but...
Boop, boop, boop.
But Luke beat him to the punch.
Luke is there. And Luke, to his credit.
Well, I guess Luke didn't ask Marissa yet.
No, but he's just there.
He's just there.
And to his credit, Luke is really nice to Ryan here. He shakes his hand. He says, "Hey, thanks again for driving me to the hospital and for calling Marissa," which is like a really like passive aggressive way of like rubbing it in. And the reason why I think Luke is so nice here is because Luke at this point has figured that he has won.
Well, yeah.
The contest for Marissa's heart, he's won, and therefore Ryan isn't a threat anymore because I won. So I'm going to be nice to him now.
Yeah. So Ryan gets to work, and
who should
follows,
appear?
Who follows him to work?
Oh,
Who's stalking Ryan?
Not a creepy adult woman who is hitting on this 16-year-old child.
Yeah. Who can't get alcohol from him because he's too young to even serve alcohol.
Yeah. I love that the show demonstrates that both characters are fully aware of each other's age through this entire interaction where, oh yeah, I forgot you're too young to serve alcohol. That means you're under 18 years old.
He's 16.
He's
Scott.
16.
He's 16. Yeah.
What
8-year difference.
Fuck?
Which, at 8 years,
Not
once
that
you're
much.
both, that's not a big deal. But at this point in life, this is not
cool.
Not
it's
good.
not cool. I hate it.
Anyways, so while she's sitting at the restaurant talking to Ryan, she just shares her life story. She tries to bond with him. I think trying to help him see that maybe she has a similar lifestyle in the sense that they both don't actually belong in Newport.
Yeah, she was a model in Japan and then got addicted to coke. And then has
classy lady, Scott.
By the time she was sober, she was 22, which was retirement age for models. But again, emphasizing how old she is.
Yeah.
But yeah, she sees a kindred spirit. A lot of people see kindred spirits when they look at Ryan. That seems to be the general thing that people look at him and say, yeah,
he can
this
just
guy's
connect
just
to
like
so many
me.
people, Scott. He's like a chameleon.
Yeah, but she talks about Caleb is she admits she's arm
bored.
candy. Yeah.
She's bored with Caleb.
So bored.
And so she's really frustrated with Caleb, Gabrielle, but also Kirsten is really frustrated at
look
Caleb.
At that scene transition, Elise.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you do this for a living?
Some might ask me and I say no, but really, do I? Do I talk for a living? Yes.
Yes.
Anyways, so Kirsten upset at her dad because he demoted her. So Sandy, because Sandy doesn't like Caleb, obviously jumps on this opportunity in order to try and turn Kirsten.
He comes in and says, I couldn't pay attention in court all day because I was thinking, here's what we could do. Here's what our plan is. We'll move back home.
Yeah, back to Berkeley.
Yeah, back to Berkeley.
Where they were before.
Yeah.
They moved to Newport. And then we find out the reason that they moved to Newport was because Kirsten's mom had gotten sick.
Yeah. So in Sandy's mind, this was never permanent. This was just something they were doing while the mother was sick, and then they just kind of stayed, and they've been staying ever since. And Sandy does not like it here, and he sees this as an opportunity to get out, and he jumps on it. And Kirsten is clearly not into this. She's like, oh, he's like, you can go start the gallery, and she's like, oh God, the gallery. I haven't thought about that in years. And it's very clear here that there's more going on than just.
And she calls him out on it.
Yeah.
She calls him out on the fact that you never liked my dad.
Yeah.
And he, says, no, I didn't, because he never walked you down the aisle at our wedding.
He no-showed
which is
to the wedding.
Another part where we see how much Caleb did not agree with this marriage.
Yeah.
So much to the fact that he didn't walk his oldest daughter, the only daughter that now I will tell you is married.
Yeah, we do learn in this episode that Kirsten has a sister that has never been mentioned. But yeah, he was. Yeah. At least there was a monsoon. He couldn't make it because there was a monsoon.
Yeah.
Except they have rescheduled the wedding 3 times to meet his schedule. The thing is, I agree that Sandy's kind of being a jerk here. But Caleb is obviously a monster. He's a shitty dad. He's a terrible father, and he's got his daughter wrapped around his finger, and ugh.
Yeah. Anyways, so at work,
Ryan's
not only
work.
does Gabrielle show up, but Marissa shows up.
Mm-hmm.
And Marissa admits to Ryan that she's confused between Ryan and Luke.
Yeah.
Which obviously upsets Ryan.
Yeah.
And she wants Ryan to say something to like convince her that Ryan is the one that she should choose or Luke is the one that she should choose. And I really like Ryan in this scene because he tells her, no, he's not going to make the choice for you. You have to do it and let me know when you made up your mind.
Yeah, I really respect him here. Don't you? I mean, like he's not gonna be put through the ringer on this and like be just sitting here. He's like, let me know. I'm not gonna help you. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna say, no, pick me, choose me. Don't do that.
Love me. He's not going to Meredith Grey the situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He is just like, let me know when you made up your mind. I'm not going to be toyed with like this. You tell me when you want to be with me or whatever. And I respect my boy for that. Good job, Ryan. Way to have some self-respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cut to commercial break. And when we come back from the commercial break, Scott.
What?
This is something that's huge. Something that's huge, but that's covered, Scott.
They are huge. But
Summer is in a shirt. She's not in a bathing suit.
She's not in a bathing suit or a bra.
Not in her bra. Marissa is standing next to her in a bathing suit.
This entire episode, Summer
is wearing
clothing.
I almost wonder if they got in trouble and like the network noticed you've had her without a shirt on for 5 episodes.
I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence that the episode in which we finally see Summer fully clothed the entire time, is the first episode in which they decide to do any characterization of her at all.
Yeah.
Like, this is the first episode where we actually start treating her like a human being and not just like a punchline. Who has to say, I have noticed that, like, one of the things we listened to on the commentary for the first episode is the moment Rachel Bilson said, ew, Chino, she got the part. And they've also like made Summer say ew in like every single one of these episodes. She always says it.
She's got some things that are just key to her. Mm-hmm. So Summer is having lunch with Marissa on the little beach boardwalk area. And so up walk Seth and Ryan.
Ooh.
I was trying to think of a noise for them, but I couldn't think of a noise. Like a ooh.
Probably like a video game bleep bloops. Sure.
No?
Sure.
Okay. So anyways, Ryan and Seth walk up and Scott, Summer, not only is she wearing a shirt this episode, she talks to Seth.
She asks for help.
An actual conversation.
Now he does introduce himself again for like the fifth time.
But she knows who he is at this point.
Sure.
Anyways, so then after that, Summer asks Seth to go walk away and get something with her because Summer wants Marissa and Ryan to talk, but also because she wants to talk to Seth.
And then she spills salsa on her finger.
Yeah, we're going to get to that.
Oh,
Hang on. So Ryan talks to Marissa and asks her to the party officially. But then we find out that Luke already did.
Yeah, so after all his posing about like, let me know when you made up your mind, he's like, actually just kidding, I kind of want to hang out with you. Please come to this party with me.
Yeah.
And then it's like, sorry, Luke already did. Sorry.
And he's like, oh man. Anyway, so then we get to this part where Seth and Summer are over there getting salsa.
And the sexual tension is palpable.
And Scott, Summer spills salsa on her finger.
But there are no napkins.
So what's a girl to do?
And she doesn't like that type of salsa.
So what does she do?
Seth Cohen will just have to lick it off her finger.
Oh my gosh.
What the fuck? This is a weird scene.
Seth is so excited. So he licks the salsa off of her finger. And then Summer just goes, hey, Seth, heard about the birthday party for your granddad.
When are you going to invite me?
When are you going to ask me? And he's completely caught off guard. And he's probably, burning in his mouth from the salsa that he's just eaten. And he knows that this is a complete, situation where she doesn't like him.
Yeah.
She's using him.
He literally asked the question, are you inviting me to the party because you want to go with me? Or are you inviting me to the party because you want to go? And she doesn't answer, but makes it very clear that it's the latter. And so he fully, I think that's what's important about this, because I think it is shitty a little bit what Summer is doing, how Summer is using Seth here. But I think it's important that we know that Seth understands. There's no expectation here,
right,
coming from the situation.
He's
Seth
just
knows.
excited.
He's just excited because he likes her so much, and getting to spend time with her, even if she's just using him, is enough for him.
Yeah.
At least at the beginning of the night. We'll see where that goes.
Anyways, so Seth and Summer are going to go to the party together, which is so exciting.
Seth's got a date with Summer.
So all the Cohens sit down to dinner, plus Caleb and his girlfriend. And I'm grouping Ryan as a Cohen now.
Yeah,
Because he
is.
So they're all sitting down, they're eating dinner, and it comes out that Seth has a date to the party, and it's Summer. And then Sandy, I'm sorry. So then Sandy's like, Sandy, it's Summer? That's Summer? Summer's hot. And at that point you realize, I understand why Seth is creepy.
No, I don't think Sandy's being creepy here. I think Sandy is specifically trying to embarrass his son by saying that.
My
like,
gosh.
Summer's hot. I think he's specifically just trying to make his son uncomfortable. And I love it. I think that's a great moment.
Funny. But then Gabriella is making eyes. She's making those thirsty eyes.
She's making those.
It Ryan.
Gotta get me some teen ass eyes.
Yeah, that's what she wants. She doesn't have to say anything. But then at the dinner, Sandy stands up for Kirsten about what had happened with Caleb and the demotion and whatnot. And things get really tense. There's like this back and forth argument between all three of them. And it comes out that Sandy said that they're going to move back to Berkeley in front of, and they hadn't even decided it between Kirsten and Sandy.
This is bullshit stuff what Sandy does here. Let's be clear on this. They had just kind of talked about it. They had formulated no plan. There was no decision made that this is what they're going to be doing. And suddenly he's like, yeah, Caleb, this is what we're doing. And what the hell? What the hell, man?
Yeah. It was tense. It was so tense that Seth and Ryan and Gabriella left.
Well, they
went to the pool house because it was
Do you
not
agree with
something.
me that Sandy was being a jerk, though?
I think it was. It was very uncalled for.
He overstepped his bounds here.
Yes.
He communicated something from them that they had not agreed on.
Yes. I think if you had done that to my parents or I did that to your parents, we would have been upset as well.
If you told my parents we were moving, we're not moving, Mom and Dad, calm down. If you told my parents we were moving before we had decided to tell them collectively that we were moving, I would be furious. I would be pissed off. Fucking Sandy. You're letting your anger, he's letting his anger and his excitement about getting out of there cloud his judgment here.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue with the gross statutory rape.
When they leave the pool house, Seth and Ryan and Gabriella go and they're playing video games and they're just hanging out. And then I forget what was it? Why did Seth decide to leave? Because he was going to go get something.
He was going to go get Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3.
Oh, yeah. So he was going to go get a different video game. And when he leaves, girlfriend decides she's going to make a move on the high school kid.
Gross.
Yeah. So
Gross.
She, comes in. It's pretty much saying, like, don't think. She takes her hand, rubs it on the inner thigh.
Yeah, she's like grabbing his dick. It's so
and
awkward.
Then leans over and she's just macking on him.
I hate it.
And she kisses. He kisses back.
Oh yeah, he does.
It's they both.
Yeah.
But
she's also an adult and he is a teenager.
That's true. So,
fucking gross.
So yeah.
What the hell, show?
I know.
Let's talk
Next
Mr.
day.
Schwartz.
Next day, Scott.
Next day.
Seth and Ryan are in the pool. Where all good conversations happen while they're floating around.
Mm-hmm. Those are the most important conversations happen in the pool.
Seth calls Ryan out on those eyes that were made at him at dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan comes clean.
This is the most hilarious part of this episode.
Ryan's just like, yeah, we hooked up.
And Seth is like confounded. Like what?
I just didn't really think that was going to happen. What do you mean? I thought it was just eyes. You're meaning those eyes were something else?
Oh, it was great.
And mind you. Well, I mean, I don't know. Did they actually hook up in the sense like what hookup means today?
No, because we see they're just making out heavily and then Caleb calls her
but
away.
I think that's an important thing to state here when we say hookup in these days.
We are not referring to sexual intercourse in this instance.
Even though what they did was not encouraged or supported by us.
And it probably would have led to sexual intercourse had Caleb not called his girlfriend away at an opportune time.
Yes. Anyway,
I think
it probably. So that night is the party. It's Caleb's birthday
once
party.
again, episode 6, big party at the end of an episode.
Yep.
Is this the 4th one that's done that?
Yeah. So Caleb starts the episode when he walks in, or not the episode. He starts the evening off by telling Kirsten to just let him know when she decides she wants to quit. That way he can find enough time for a replacement. So it's just like he keeps chipping and chipping and chipping.
Yeah.
And it's just,
And he
it's
calls her-
so mean.
He calls her Kiki, and that's what you called her in an earlier episode. And I hate that nickname. I hate it so much, and hopefully he will be the
You're
only
gonna hate
one
it even more later.
that does it.
And
No.
I'm so excited.
Oh, no.
I'm so excited.
No.
Anyways. So yeah, the party starts, and then Summer, Luke, and Marissa show up. And I think this is my favorite part is Seth walks up because Summer's there, and Luke is nice.
He's nice
Luke
to him.
is so nice
Yeah.
again.
Why do we think Luke is nice to him?
Well, Seth is the one that got Ryan to the party. And I think he also is just recognizing that if he's going to be nice to Ryan and Seth are like friends and brothers now. And so
I think you're
maybe,
Yeah.
it's just he's part of the package deal.
I think you're right.
But Seth is like, dude, you're shot in the arm, not the head. And he tells him that. And it's I mean, but it's so true. Everyone's thinking about what's wrong with you? Is this the Luke that we knew from before? Anyways, so Seth starts escorting Summer around.
Yeah,
and
she's
all that
basically
he's
talking
doing.
to all the venture capitalists and all the finance people. We find out later she reads Forbes.
Just for the purpose of this party.
But I kind of like this. So Summer flits back and forth between like super shallow and actually super interesting here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like ostensibly what she's doing here is trying to meet an eligible rich dude to hook up with, right? Even though she is 16, and if these people are managing wealth at huge companies, they're adults, which is a little weird. But also, I mean, maybe she's just like really into wealth management and she actually just wants to get that job and she's just looking for connections, not just sexual connections.
She did decide to wear clothes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Although she is excited when she hears one of them was looking at her boobs. It's complicated. Here's the thing though. She actually does read Forbes though. Like she
was doing research and she knew facts.
She knows about what she's talking about here. And that is a dive deeper into this character who up until this point has literally just been the stupid ditzy.
Ew.
Yeah, exactly. She's been nothing more than that character. And suddenly we're exploring her in different ways. And I'm finally like, okay, I'm starting to see why I liked this character. I'm starting to see it. We're not quite there yet, but I'm starting to see it.
Some more.
Yeah.
And so also at this party that's starting and rolling, Sandy and Kirsten are talking and he's not sorry for what he said.
Yeah, which is bullshit. He should be.
Yeah. And so Sandy has had these red flags up, and because he's finally expressed them to Kirsten, she started to ask herself, this entire time, have you really been happy? Or are you unhappy? And so there's really something bigger that's going on.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, I think, a scary conversation for them to have, that their entire, 16, 17 years that they've been here in Newport, he's never said anything about not wanting to be here.
Yeah. And we've been seeing Sandy's unhappiness with Newport, constantly throughout the show.
Yeah.
He hates all the other people there. He doesn't feel like he belongs. I remember his conversation with Ryan earlier in an episode where he's like, you know what? The one thing I don't want to admit, sometimes I actually enjoy this place. He doesn't like it here very much.
Yeah.
And Kirsten here says, we didn't just stay here because my mom, we didn't just stay here because this job. We made a decision as a family that we wanted to live here and we wanted to stay here.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're telling me that that's not what you want, we're going to have a big conversation.
Yeah.
So this is trouble in paradise amongst our last week's relationship status winning couple, right?
Yeah, it is. It's pretty bad. And so our relationship worst couple is together at the party, but not because they were supposed to be together at the party. Jimmy just shows up to the party, and Julie is
so
pissed
mad
because Julie does not want to be seen around Newport at all with Jimmy anymore, nor does she want Jimmy to be seen anywhere because she just wants him to go away.
Mm-hmm.
So when he comes, she's mad. She walks up to him and she pretty much just was like, I told you not to come. Why are you here? To which he replies, well, Caleb's here. I've known Caleb. I've had a history with Caleb, and I'm going to see if he'll give me a job. You know, I was good at whatever investment that I did in that company, and now I feel like maybe this will just translate really easily. It's not going to. I mean,
But
we know it's not going to happen that way.
Right.
Julie knows it wouldn't happen that way. But Jimmy, I mean, he's trying.
He's desperate.
He's trying to find any way that he can to keep his family together. But even if it worked, he got a job. I don't think Julie would want to stay with him.
I don't think so either. Do you think, like, just the fact that he had to go beg for a job to Caleb was enough to make Julie not like him anymore? Maybe. Because I think there's an interesting moment later in the episode that I think makes me hate Julie a little bit, but we'll get there.
Yeah. So anyways, Summer and Marissa are deciding to go take a little bathroom break for the party. And women always go to the bathroom in twos, especially in movies, because that's what they want everyone to think that
that's
happens.
how you can have dialogue.
Yeah. So she's really excited. And that's when we learn that she reads Forbes. But it's also when we learn that Marissa and Luke have never hooked up.
She's a virgin.
She
and
is.
of course, when a television show introduces that concept in an episode, it means that card will be cashed in that episode. Definitely.
Yeah.
Whenever they just bring this up out of the blue, it's what's going to happen.
Yeah. So you see Marissa like look at the mirror and she's questioning, like, yeah, I'm with Luke. I'm here at the party. And Summer's talking about how Luke and I have been together for years. So like,
So why haven't I
is
done
that
it yet?
expected?
Like, yeah.
But then, you know, like you can see that her wheels are turning as far as this goes. But her wheels are turning and somebody else is trying to turn someone else on.
Someone's
the
trying
pool
to turn that
house.
crank. And by crank, I mean penis.
Yeah. So Gabriella goes to the pool house because Ryan's kind of snuck away in order to avoid all of the people that are there for the party. And she just goes in, she pushes them on the bed and pretty much tries to pick up where they left off last time.
Yeah, I mean, she's got her shirt off.
Yeah.
They're going to like hook up. And by hook up, I mean the other meaning of hook up.
Yeah.
I mean bang.
Yeah.
They're going to, again, let's 24, 16. 24,
Yeah.
16.
Yeah. So
Gross.
because Marissa was contemplating her life in the bathroom and realizes at this point, you know what, maybe I do want to be with Ryan.
It's Ryan. I want Ryan.
She decides to go and try and find Ryan, which is the very, you know, like inopportune time to find him in the state that he is in.
It's a classic TV moment that she just walks right in on him.
Yeah. So he walks right in and Marissa's like, oh my gosh. And so she just runs off. She tries to find and does find Luke, kisses him and says she wants to leave. So her mind is made up.
Oh, no.
It's an impulsive decision. So they leave. Ryan chases after her, but it's too late and they're off in that big black truck.
The lesson, kids, do not hook up with 24-year-old women that are throwing themselves at you for some stupid reason. It's a bad idea. Not only is it illegal, but it's just a bad idea because the girl you like will probably see it happen and then she won't want to be with you anymore. And now she's going to go off and have sex with her boyfriend just because she's angry at you.
Yeah.
Perfect. Great decision making, everyone. Everyone's doing a great job this week.
They are. And another person who's doing a great job, Jimmy. He's greatly failing.
What we see, what I like about this is we see the conversation seems to be going well. They're being nice to each other, right? So like Julie walks up to Jimmy and is like, congratulations. Looks like you got your job back. Looks like
She does say it sarcastically, but yes.
See, I don't think so though. There is a moment here where Julie walks up to him and she's excited. And I think there's a moment here where she thinks if Caleb gives Jimmy this job, this is her ticket. This is her ticket back to what she wants. And almost as if she's ready to like take back the wanting and the divorce. I mean, if you go back and look at it, there's a look on her face as she walks up to him where I think she's like, it worked. Like, and she sees the solution to her problem in front of her, and she wants it. And then as soon as she hears it didn't go well, she switches. The smile drops off her face, and she goes, "Yeah, I figured it wouldn't." And she goes back to that old mode. I think I could go back and watch it. I think it's really interesting, and it makes me kind of hate her even more because it's like
the moment.
It's like it doesn't. It's only how it can benefit her. That's all she cares about. We'll keep the family together. Only if you do it in this specific way that keeps me in the lap of luxury I'm used to.
Yeah.
Fucking Julie.
Well, after she realizes that Jimmy fails, she decides she's going to solve this problem herself. So if Jimmy couldn't, pull a fast one on Caleb and get a job, she's decided she's going to try and work her magic on Caleb.
Oh, and she works that magic.
She does.
Manipulates him.
Manipulation.
She's so
right
good at this.
Yeah. So she tells about, the pity about how Jimmy has basically screwed her and her family over, and what she's going to have to do in order to be able to make it. And
I guess I'll have to get a job.
Who's going to hire me with such little skills? Oh, you've got some things you can offer. And so then they decide to go and have dinner together. And she's like, "Oh, thank you so much for making time for me." And Caleb says, "Oh, I'm never too busy for you."
So I have to be honest here.
Yeah. Be honest.
As we talked about, I have seen some episodes of the show, and I remember enough about the show to remember Caleb and Julie as a thing. So I knew that was going to happen. So I remember that happening. Yes. I didn't remember when it was, how soon I thought it was, I really thought it was like season 2. I didn't think it was it's like 6 episodes into the show we're going to start going down this path, but I knew this was coming. And even knowing it was coming, I'm still like, oh, this is a great idea. This is such good drama.
Especially after you see Caleb.
Oh, it's such a good, it's such a good idea.
Yeah.
It's going to piss off Kirsten so much. It's such a good idea. I love it.
Yeah. So back to my favorite couple, two of my favorite characters, Seth and Summer.
Yes.
So Seth is sitting outside and Summer comes up and she, asks Seth if he can go and introduce her to some more people, and you can tell that he doesn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, he's standing his ground. He's
which is
respecting
good.
himself.
He started to, take Anna's advice and follow it a little bit.
Yeah.
So he, pretty much calls all these old men out about how Summer needs to stop paying attention to them because they know nothing about her.
Yeah.
And then he starts spouting off all of these sweet, creepy.
Look, I don't want to
sweet. I think
I don't want to call it creepy.
Sweet.
I don't want to call it creepy because he just knows her because he likes her, and I going back on the birthday thing, I'm kind of I don't know if I want to call that creepy anymore. I did at the time. I don't know if I want to do that anymore. He just really cares about her, and so he has been paying attention to her, and it doesn't have to be in a creepy paying attention way. It's just because this poem he recites. It's adorable.
Yeah. Well, I like the fact that he recognized that she is snotty, but she also in the past has been really kind to people when it's not noticed.
Yeah.
But somebody did notice it.
She helps that and from the fat chipmunk or was it? I can't remember.
Well, but that's like the thing of someone who has the tough shell with the soft heart.
Sure.
Someone finally had seen that. And so I think that was a really great moment.
And I think the danger is a person like him feeling like he's the one that knows her, so he deserves her. And I don't think that's what he's saying here. I think if that was the attitude he was having, I would be like, pump the brakes, dude. You don't get to be with someone just because you remember a poem they wrote. But that's not what Seth's doing here. And what happens? What happens when he recites the poem to her?
Summer kisses Seth. Summer kisses Seth on the lips.
On the lips, and it's not no little peck, baby. It's not no little. It's a fucking kiss.
It is.
It is a kiss.
You think this was his first kiss?
Did Anna kiss him?
No.
It might be his first kiss. It might be.
Okay.
Yeah, he kisses her, or she kisses him, and they kiss for a little bit, and then she smiles at him, and then she goes back and introduces herself to more rich people, but she introduces herself this time.
Yeah.
That's the part. It's like, don't worry, I'll introduce myself this time. And I wanted to be like, no, that's not. He wants you.
It's
great though.
It is.
It's great.
It's
I love it.
wonderful.
I love it.
So Sandy and Caleb, their relationship is not solved by any means. There's still tension in there. But Sandy does confront Caleb and asks for Kirsten to be able to keep her job.
Yeah.
And so,
which is him, I think, relenting to the understanding of we're not here temporarily. We're going to be here.
Yeah.
Which is, it's good that he understands that. I think it's going to be a problem for him going forward.
So after Sandy kind of admits that he didn't win in this to Caleb, Caleb goes up and he's talking to Kirsten and, great job. You planned a good party. He mentions the sister who never seen, never heard about. And then they
tried to call her on the phone and it's not even a connected line anymore. Yeah. So definitely a strange sister that we've never heard anything about.
But they're both having like a semi-sweet moment about how they both miss her mom. And you think that maybe if the mom had been around, how she could have like softened him up a little bit, but she died.
Yep.
And Kirsten just wants her dad to be proud of her. And she says that, like, all I've wanted was for you to be proud of me, Dad.
And you know
and
what?
He never says it.
He doesn't say it.
He doesn't.
That's the perfect opportunity to be like, oh, well, I'm very proud of you.
Yeah. But instead, all he says is that, taking in a stray kid is something that your mother would have done. Not that I'm proud of you for doing something that your mother would have done.
No.
Not that I love you because you're like your mom. That's something your mom would have done.
Yeah. And Kirsten's reply is, well, but she would have done it just to piss you off, which is also an interesting little tidbit of their relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of little interesting bits here. You're absolutely right. I didn't even realize that, but you're absolutely right that he does not say, I am proud of you. Like any other parental relationship, you think when your child says to you, all I want is for you to be proud of me.
All I want is for you to hug me. Yeah. All I want is for you to say you love me. Like the
parent is supposed to do that thing. That's what they're supposed to do. Of course I'm proud of you. Not even like I've always been proud of you. I'm sorry I don't say it enough. I am proud of you. I'm incredibly proud of what you've done. And in his mind, I'm sure by saying come to work on Monday, your mother would have done this. I'm sure in his head, that's my apology and I'm proud of you. But he doesn't say it. And sometimes you just need to hear the frickin' words.
Yeah.
Why is he such a piece of shit?
It's like that episode of Queer Eye where the mother had never said I love you to her daughters. And the daughters were like, all I want you to do is say I love you.
That was one that was like the drill team instructor.
Oh, yeah. That was a good one.
That show.
That just tears you apart.
It makes me cry so much. Did you hear Jonathan Van Ness is going to be on the new season of Big Mouth?
No, but that's
animated
amazing.
Jonathan
I'm
Van
so
Ness.
excited. Okay.
Anyway, OC.
So Gabriella, goes over, is talking to Ryan, of course, and pretty much talks about how she's bored with Caleb, but she wishes that somebody would care about her the way that Ryan cares about this girl that walked in on them.
He seems so distraught, and she's like, I wish I loved someone enough to feel that way.
Yeah, and then he's like, I love Marissa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But of course,
you're also like, you're
also like, you're creepy, lady. Yeah. Go away, creepy lady.
Yeah. So Marissa and Luke, they went
hot
away.
And heavy.
Hot and heavy.
The first OC sex scene. Here it is.
It is. And she said, Luke asks if she wants to. She says she does. But she rolls over, Scott, and you can tell that she's not really into it. She's just doing it out of spite.
She's making a rash decision out of anger and spite. It's a dumb... Children, if you're listening to the show, don't do this. Don't have sex with someone because the person you like was hooking up with someone else.
Time.
Don't do... That's stupid. That's stupid awful. Thing to do. Don't be like Marissa.
It'll be like regretful for her the rest of her life.
I think we've proven that Marissa is bad at making choices.
Yeah, she's not great. So Ryan is waiting up for her to come home because he wants to talk to her. And so she gets dropped off by Luke and he walks over and all that she does is she turns around and she looks at him and she says, you're Marissa, so you can go for it.
You're too late.
And then the door closes. End episode. Executive producer, Ben Kund.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's what always comes up first.
I can't believe you memorized that. So that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I know.
What an intense episode.
It is. Lots happened, Scott.
And lots happened, and a lot is going to happen next week. God, I can't wait. I am
Yeah.
actually
Are you
very
excited?
excited. I am into the show now. I love it.
I'm so happy.
I love
It's so good.
All right, Elise, before we
Okay.
wrap up the show, we got a couple more things to do.
Yes.
The first one is That's So
2000s.
What are our nominees this week?
Okay, so first up is when the trunk of food opened up in the first little bit. There was the food item that was the Rugrats Go Wild.
Oh, it wasn't just Rugrats, baby.
What was
it was all Nicktoons. You had the wild thornberries
Oh,
on
I
there.
didn't
You
even
remember the
see
wild
that.
thornberries?
Yeah, I
I think the
did.
Angry Beavers were on that thing.
Yeah.
Man, that was memory lane right
So
there.
those were like total late 90s, early 2000s cartoons
Yep,
from our
yep,
childhood.
yep.
So that was a good one. Then the second one was the reference to the original Fast and the Furious,
OG
the
Fast and
OG.
the Furious.
Yeah. And then the last one is just really, it's awful.
Ugh.
But in the
It's
early
Summer that
2000s,
says it,
it's
too.
Summer that says it.
Calls Caleb Nickel. What does she call him,
The
Elise?
Donald Trump of the West. And that phrase has a horrible
It's
double
aged,
meaning
it's
now.
aged
Yeah.
terribly.
Yeah.
Maybe the show ends with Caleb Nickel as president of the United States.
I
then.
hope not.
That would be fitting.
At least he's more handsome.
I don't want to vote for that one because it makes me angry and
Because
sad.
then you'd be voting for him at one point in your life.
Because true. Also because the people, if you had asked any of the writers in 2003, hey, do you know that guy you just referenced in this show is going
everyone
to be
regrets it.
president of the United
Home Alone
States?
2,
Yeah.
the OC, everything.
We're not that political of a show, but let me just be political for a second.
Okay.
Fuck Donald Trump.
Okay.
I vote for the Rugrats foods.
I think that's great too. Okay. So, Scott, we come to your favorite part of the show. Scott, this is the relationship status. We're going to check in on all of our couples this week. So, Scott, we're going to start out with the first couple, the one that had, quite a lot happen this week. So we have Luke and Coop. Scott, tell me about Luke and Coop this week.
Well, last week we gave them a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
This week, evidently, Luke's brain is in his arm, and he is transformed into someone who's nice and attempts to care about people.
Ooh, interesting.
Luke says he loves Marissa, and now that they've banged, maybe they will be more emotionally invested in each other, but I doubt it. But until
Okay.
then, we are going to give them an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10, so going up 1 point. Okay, Scott, we are now going to look at Coop's other relationship with Ryan. Last week, they had a 4 out of 10. This week, Gabriella has caused some drama for Coop and Ryan. After Marissa saw that Ryan was interested in Gabriella and not her, Marissa's rash decision points that she cares about Ryan because she wants to hurt him like he hurt her. But they both end up hurting themselves. So we have demoted their score from a 4 down to a 2. 2 out of 10.
That was poetic as fuck, baby. Do you know when you speak faster, you also just speak louder?
Yeah.
Do you know that happens?
Yeah.
Because that's what's happening right
Sorry.
now.
Okay, Seth and Summer. Scott, how are Seth and Summer doing?
Well, last week we gave Seth and Summer a pretty abysmal 1 out of 10.
yeah.
But oh, how the tides have turned.
Exponential growth.
This is the most positive development for these two all season so far. Yes, Summer only wanted to go to a party with Seth to use him, but they actually have had 2, count it, 2 conversations now.
That's
2 whole conversations.
one more than they've
from
had
beginning
before.
to end.
Whoa.
Where both of them actually want to be talking to each other. They're having these conversations.
Yeah.
And now, a smoochy smooch.
That's a big deal, Scott. Not even Coop and Ryan have kissed yet.
So are you telling me that on the Orange County,
Yes.
the 2 main love interests of Marissa Cooper and Ryan, I forgot his last name,
Atwood.
sure, haven't kissed yet, but
But Seth has game,
Summer?
Scott. We have learned that Seth is a fast mover, fast talker, and fast mover here.
well, let's be honest.
What do you
here.
rate him?
Let's be honest here.
I mean, not really
Summer,
fast.
Summer is a fast mover. Summer kissed Seth. Seth would never have kissed Summer first.
That's
Let's just-
probably true.
Anyway, we're going to give them a big old 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Wow, that's 5 points higher than last week. Okay.
69 out of 10. What's next,
Okay,
Elise?
Scott, we're going to talk about Seth and Anna. Last week they had an 8 out of 10, and Anna is still gone. Hopefully her sailboat hasn't capsized. Nothing new on this front, but the progression of another relationship that Seth is in has hurt the potential for this one to move forward. Therefore, we are going to knock their score down a couple points. We're going to even Seth and Summer up with Seth and Anna, both out of 6 out of 10.
Ooh,
I know.
It's going to be a race to the finish line.
It
I
is.
think my prediction of the Seth and Summer relationship being hot and heavy by the time Anna comes back into the picture
It might be,
was
Scott.
pretty correct.
Okay, so tell me how Sandy and Kirsten are doing.
Well, Sandy and Kirsten, last week we gave them an 8 out of 10. Sandy and Kirsten haven't had this much tension all season, which means that Caleb is a hot button for both of them. A hot button. That Caleb. He stirs up trouble between them, and it is evident that Caleb isn't Sandy's strongest supporter. He seems to do what he can to divide these two. They work things out in the end, but it was a lot of effort. No movement. 8 out of 10. I like this because we can't knock their relationship score down based off the potential for future issues.
Indeed.
Right now, they're doing okay. So 8 out of 10. It's fair. It's fair.
Okay. Last we are rounding out relationship status with Jimmy and Julie Cooper. Last week they were 1 out of 10. This week Julie wants a divorce. Jimmy refuses to accept reality and still tries to mend his family, but Julie is done. We're not going to give him any points. We're going to take away a point and we're going to give him the 0 out of 10.
And you know what I think we should do? I think we should make this official. The Jimmy and Julie Cooper relationship status line item,
Yes.
off the board.
Off the board. We're going to take it off.
Once you drop down to 0 out of 10, you're donezo. Your relationship
Once you've
is done.
decided
You're
it's
gone.
going to be a divorce, I think we can consider that you are not wanting to continue this relationship. So we're just going to write you off.
Update your Facebook relationship status, Jimmy Cooper.
It's complicated.
Divorced.
Okay.
They don't have a divorce status on Facebook.
They do not that
would
I
be
know of.
weird.
I haven't ever looked for it.
Divorced with.
Okay. So,
All right.
Scott, what do you predict is going to happen?
I don't know.
Scott,
This is a lot of
speculations.
pressure. I should probably try to fill this out beforehand instead of just trying to wing
let me
it.
ask you a question.
Sure,
What do you
sure.
think is going to happen with Luke and Marissa this
Luke
next
and
episode?
Marissa. I think Marissa's going to be in Regretsville, and
Okay.
she's going to feel bad about the decision she made because she didn't want to have sex with him.
Okay.
And she's going to regret that, but she was hurt. And once she has time to kind of come to her senses, she's going to realize it was a mistake.
Okay.
And she's going to be very cold to him, and he's not going to know why. He's not going to understand. Rightly
Okay.
so. He's not going to understand. We just had sex, and now they're like this. I don't get it. What's
Yeah.
going on?
Okay.
Nothing's going to happen.
Okay. How do you think Seth and Summer are going to develop in this next episode?
Oh, I think there's going to be some more talking, some more chatting.
Okay.
Maybe a peck on the cheek or two.
Okay.
Maybe we'll see Summer wear all different kinds of shirts.
Oh.
Different, like smart shirts,
Like
character
tank top?
shirts. Yeah.
Button up,
Yeah. Blouses.
halter top.
Sure.
Okay. Lots of different tops.
Yeah.
You know, they could have put her in all sorts of tops.
That's like
before.
a metaphor for her growing personality and characterization. See, that's what I'm doing.
Oh, that's a good one.
Thank you.
Okay, so the title of the episode is The Escape.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think that means?
I think someone's going to run away from
Oh,
somewhere.
okay.
I think they're going to be leaving Newport
Oh, Escape Newport.
mhm.
Okay.
temporarily.
Good to know.
Of course.
Okay. So that's what we're going to move on to next week, Scott.
All right.
Is episode 7 entitled The Escape.
All right. That's all the time we have for you this week, guys. If you like this podcast, you can check it and all the other shows we do over at our website. That's www.doofmedia.com.
Also, you can consider donating to our Patreon, patreon.com/doofmedia. And if you happen to be listening via Apple Podcasts, you can just go ahead and head on over there and drop us a rating and a review. We definitely love those ratings. Those 5 stars are awesome. But we also love when you can actually write something down and tell us what you think. We'll read it.
Hey, Lise.
Yeah.
How many more patrons do we need before we unlock the next show we're doing?
You know, that's a good question. And you haven't told me how many patrons we have lately.
The magic number is 6.
We need 6 more.
6 more people.
6 more.
6 more humans.
Let's see if we can get that down to
any
one
humans.
hand.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's one-hand it.
We don't even have to. I would love it if we could get all 6, but if we could at least get it down to one hand by next week, that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Let's do it.
Okay.
That's the goal.
One of you guys listening right now that is not given $1,
$1.
just go and give
Dollar bills, y'all.
$1. 6 people who are listening right now.
Dollar
You've
bills,
never
y'all.
donated anything. Just $1, Bob. Just $1.
All right, guys. We will see you next week for The Escape. Goodbye from the OC.
Ciao.